Hey guys, welcome back to Sabers Forever. I'm John. Today we're going to be going over the one. That's right. This is the Graflex Grandmaster chassis in a Vintage Graflex. Like, does it get any better than that? I don't think it does. So why don't we just jump right in and I'll show you exactly what's going on. Alright, so this is the Graflex Grandmaster chassis by Goth 3D Designs. Now, this is it completely disassembled because I thought it was really important to really go over this a bunch. The overall build took an amazing amount of time, but it was very, very fun, to be perfectly honest. Like, I enjoyed it thoroughly. I know there's a lot of stuff involved of, like, cutting tubes and bending rod and all kinds of stuff just to get this done, but man, it is so rewarding to get it completely finished. So I'm really, really happy with how this turned out. Now, I guess we should just go over the general part. So this is the main part. It had, well, the main body piece of the chassis. It's got all of the, like, the soundboards in here, OLED, accent, neopixels. You've got power and auxiliary, an accent neopixel underneath the arc reactor right here, and then placement for a crystal. Now, the crystals, there's two of them when you order this. They both have their own independent resistor inside that, like, for example, one's 10K and the other one's 33K. And they designate to the board what blade config I want. So I'm able to assign different fonts per crystal and have it act accordingly. So this is really the starting off point. So you would grab this guy first. Your positive contact is down at the bottom where the speaker would go. Your negative contact is up here by the crystal. Now, the negative on my batteries are labeled negative, positive, but the positive side is the side with the nipple, and the negative side is the flat side. And the positive in the chassis is, it also has a nipple. So you want to put the nipples together always. It's just an easy way to remember it. Maybe a little dirty, but it does the trick for me. So nipple to nipple, positive goes in at the bottom towards the speaker. Do not ever put the battery in backwards because, oh my God, it's just a nightmare. Speaker pod, this guy goes in. There's a long side to the chassis right here for the speaker holder and a short side. The short side, you'll notice one side has an LED hole. That goes on the short side. So just like that. And it twists in, so you got to twist it to the left to release it. Next is actually, let's do the battery cover. So this guy goes here like that. And then you would turn it on with the kill switch right here. So turns on, and you get a nice Goth 3D Designs animation on the OLED, and then followed by mine, Sabers Forever. I guess I should probably show that, right? Courtesy of Brian Connor. So Brian's always hooking it up. He also helped me troubleshoot Blade ID for the crystal. So that is how I am able to get the effects that you're going to see soon. So now that it's on, you can put the cover on because that covers the on-off switch. And then to stop this hatch from opening and closing, there's a magnet, like a piece that's got magnets on it, goes right there. And then you can take your crystal. Now, there's two of them here. Let's look at them real quick. They're easy to distinguish. So, first off, one is brass and one is silver, which you can see this is silver and this is brass. And then the long side always is the top, and the short side gets pushed into the chassis first, so that these connect accordingly. Now, the silver one is your light side crystal, and the brass one is your dark side crystal. If that is only because this specific master or Grand Master chassis has the silver add-on. So if you get the all brass one, both crystal holders will be brass. But I mean, I tried to make sure that these crystals, like this one, definitely looks dark side. Like it's got some jagged edges, and yeah, it's a little funky looking. Versus this one's more straightforward. So pretty easy to tell the difference. If you do not get the genuine quartz upgrade, the 3D printed crystal one will be cracked as the dark side, and the other one will be solid, no cracking, as the light side. So let's put the light side in. There are magnets on one side and the connectors on the other. You'll see there's magnets in the chassis, so this just goes like this. So there's the magnets there. So then this would go in this way, like that, and just push it in.
What is it? Father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
So now you're on the light side crystal. Now, what does that mean? You can, let's finish building this. So you want your connectors to always line up. So I would put the farthest leg in first right there, and then boop, just like that. And you're all built. So you're ready for this to go into the saber now, or show it off completed. You've got your motor. And I guess now that it's all assembled, we should go over the parts real quick. So we've got a stock npxl v3. We have your power switch here and your auxiliary right here for when it's in the saber. You've got a motor right in here. You have the removable crystal with 2 neopixel accents and the resistor inside with the quick connects. Then underneath is an arc reactor with a single pixel. You've got power and auxiliary right here, along with your OLED, 7 on each side neopixel accents. This is a 28mm speaker along with a 5 or 3mm red LED. And then you have your battery, which is an 18650. And that's basically it. So yeah, I mean, it's a ton of metal parts. To access your soundboard, you would just take the speaker out, and you can pull out your US or your SD card, and your micro USB is accessible right there. All right, so now with the light side crystal in, what's really cool about this is that I've designated all light side fonts to this crystal, so I'm just going to go through them real quick. All the fonts are by Kyberphonic, with the exception of one.
Commander Skywalker, do you copy?
So the first 2 fonts on here are Graflex A New Hope, Graflex ESB.
I am a Jedi.
Luke Skywalker
before me.
from Return of the Jedi. Rey Skywalker. Ahsoka Tano. I guess I don't have to say what it's saying, right?
What is it? Father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
So now, with that being shown, I did a little thing, which is with the dark side crystal. All of the fonts, like if you switch fonts, so right now we're on Luke A New Hope, so I'll put this in. And now we're on Vader A New Hope. And this is really cool because I'm able to have parallel fonts. So when I switch it to ESB,
the Emperor's Hand,
or to the third font, which this is Mara Jade. So if you take that out, I paired that so that its exact opposite would be Luke, Return of the Jedi.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
And then
Rey Skywalker.
we have Rey. And her exact opposite would be Kylo. And then we have
Balin's skull.
whose exact opposite would be... Somebody want to guess?
Ahsoka Tano.
That brings us back to Luke.
What is it? Father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
We can now now that I've demoed all of that, we should put this into the saber. Actually, before I do that, let's go over the one exception font that is not kyberphonic. So when you remove the crystal, you get this neat little boot up. And now this takes you into Calibrate, which is by Genesis Custom Sabers. And this is just kind of like its own lightsaber font, but it's all based on like if you were working on the chassis. Obviously, it doesn't like being hit while it's no crystal are being worked on. And then this saber also is set up for hold the auxiliary. You hold the auxiliary button in order to get a clash, so you don't have to hit it while holding a button. So that's lockup, but gives you some really cool options. And then so it acts just like a saber, but it gives you a little bit of cool stuff, like if you wanted to turn it on and like hone your crystal. And then stick it in while this is still on.
Father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
So pretty cool. This saber or the crystal can be inserted in any way, like while or in any mode while it's on. It can be taken out while it's on. So like, but then this is now on, and you can do it with the dark side. And then with the crystal out, this is the only font that will activate. So even if you went to change fonts, it just reboots. All right, so let's put this in the saber.
Commander Skywalker, do you copy?
This goes like this. Now, you're going to have the glass eye removed. Like that. And then you're going to have to back out the red button a little bit so that it doesn't hit this guy, the switch right here. But then line up your glass eye hole with the glass eye in here. This slides in just like that. Tighten this up. Put your glass eye in. And you don't want to cross thread this, so always back wind it, and it goes in real easy. So if you feel like any grinding or anything, it's probably not seated correctly. So now that's in. This can go on and keep this open. Your orientation is like a this, which is just like that. So your activation box, you should have the smiley face. You should be able to, yeah, like that. The mouth should be pointing at the activation box. So that's the saber. And then you can turn it on. Oop. And the way you actuate this switch is by pulling it down. So there you go. Now that's basically the entire build. The only difference between this Grandmaster chassis and the way it was done with the CFX is that obviously CFX has deep sleep. This does not. You don't have to take the chassis out to get to the kill switch though. You just take this off. There it is. Turn it off. Put this back in and you're good to go. And then this is good for travel or storage or display or whatever you want. So there you have it, the Grandmaster chassis. I usually like to make sure that these cutouts right here line up with the red switch. So why don't we just finish this with some glam shots of the vintage right here. So what's really cool is, I don't know if I said this, but all these parts were taken from the original Graflex. So this little springy part here with the spring inside, this is a blade plug, spring-loaded blade plug. This is your blade retention screw right there, so you'll need a flathead, back that out, and then this comes out. These pins are vintage. This is not. This is actually, because this isn't incorporated, this was not like this. So this is actually a Roman props replica Fulmer glass eye. But everything else and this is also a replica stamped bar. But everything else on the hilt, so like the handle, all this is replica. But the holes are actually drilled and riveted into the Fulmer, or into the vintage can, and then the clamp is vintage and the top is vintage. So there you go. If you are interested in one of these, they are available on the kybertemple.com. All of those install master chassis commissions, they just come right here. So, if you want to support Goth 3D Designs and Sabers Forever, that's a good way to do it. And you get yourself a master chassis out of it also. So, why don't we just wrap the video here? I think that covers everything. If I missed anything, just ask in the comments. Thanks.
What is it? Father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Alright guys, that does it for this video. If you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe to see more awesome installs just like this guy here. If you are looking to get one for yourself, the commission is available on the kybertemple.com. This is Goth 3D Designs' new website, where a lot of the master chassis commissions are being sent to me for install. So if you want me to do a master chassis for you, this is a pretty great way to do it, other than going to my website, sabersforever.com, where you will find a whole bunch of KR Sabers installs from Eco to master chassis. You name it, it's there. If you can't find it, please feel free to reach out to me at john@sabersforever.com, and I'd be happy to help answer any questions that you have. Without your support, this isn't possible, so thank you. And please make sure to like and subscribe. It'll help out the channel immensely, and I cannot thank those of you who are enough already. So until the next video, guys, may the Force be with you.